So every object tells a story, much like this box. But this box holds several stories. And in it is contents that connect all the stories together. For me to show you what's in the box, to reveal the contents, would be a confession. That's over 30 years old. When I was a child, I used this box to hide personal things and keep them away from prying eyes. And when I went away to college, I left it at home and began to forget about it and buried the contents deep in the recesses of my mind. The contents connect myself, my father, a little girl named Annabelle Lee, and a young man named Alan Landry. And in order for me to show you the contents and for you to recognize the importance, you would have to know about each of these people. And I should probably start with my father. When I was a young boy, we had a very good relationship. We were like buddies. We'd play catch in the backyard. We'd go fishing. We'd have late night conversations about anything and everything. And if we disagreed, I think he enjoyed that part more than anything else. But when I went away to college, he became distant from me. When I called, he wouldn't come to the phone. When I came home, he would make himself scarce. I used to go out with him on his jobs. He was a plumber. And I would ride along with him and help him figure out what the next job was going to be. And he would test me. What tool am I going to need? Where is the next job located? He was always teaching me something. He taught me plumbing. But I guess it was probably my sophomore year in college. The few times I did call home, he wouldn't answer. My mother would say he was busy, too busy to talk, or maybe he came home late and was sleeping. Eventually, I stopped calling, didn't see a purpose. And then, about a week before I was supposed to graduate, I woke from a dream. Had a dream that I was in my father's red Ford truck, and we were riding along with the sunlight streaming in the windshield, going to the next job. And my father turned to me and smiled and said, "Are we going the right way?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "It's going to be a good day, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes." And when I woke from that dream, I just had this feeling of contentment and satisfaction that I rushed to call home. My mother answered. I asked to speak to my father. He was gone. I reminded her that I was going to graduate in a few weeks and that I would love to have them come. And I would really want to talk to my father if she would have him call me. And she promised me that she would tell him. But the phone call never came. And I walked across that stage alone. And after that, I never went home. And that was over 30 years ago. I didn't even go home for my mother's funeral. The only reason I did come home was after my father died. It was my job to put his home in order. Some neighbors came out and said, "Wouldn't you want to hold on to the house? Why sell it? Wouldn't you want it as a home?" And I guess they just didn't understand that it was no longer a home, it was just a house. But then I went through my father's possessions and I found the box, and it was hidden away under blankets, buried in boxes up in the rafters of our attic. And it was startling to find it, not because he held on to it or that he hid it away, but because I knew what was inside the box, something that I thought I had forgotten. And I knew that because of the contents of the box, my father must have thought about me, and it changed everything for him. Because to know what he saw, I can only imagine the grief it caused him. And then I began to understand why he had moved away from me, had stopped calling. The only problem is he never knew the truth. He didn't know why it happened or how it happened. And now it's too late. But in order for you to understand the significance, I would also have to tell you the story about Annabelle Lee. But I would need more time to do that. Thank you.
Stephen Olson.